So, I'm a 30-year-old guy living in an apartment with paper-thin walls. You know the type, where you can hear your neighbor's TV shows and their arguments as if they're happening in your own living room. Normally, I try to tune it all out, but one day, my ears caught something truly bizarre. It was a casual evening, and as I was relaxing after work, I couldn't help but overhear a conversation that left me both puzzled and intrigued. Little did I know, this was the start of a chain of events that would lead to one of the most WTF experiences of my life. The first strange incident happened on a Wednesday night. I was making dinner when I heard the 40-year-old male neighbor talking to someone, a 35-year-old woman, through the wall. At first, it was just regular chit-chat, but then the conversation took a weird turn. They started discussing a project that required special materials and timing. It was cryptic and sounded almost conspiratorial. My curiosity piqued, but I brushed it off as an eccentric hobby or a poorly planned DIY endeavor. However, my intrigue got the better of me, and I began to inadvertently pay more attention whenever they spoke. Over the next few weeks, the conversations grew more frequent and even more peculiar. The 40-year-old male and the 35-year-old female often talked about meeting the others and referenced things like the package and the exchange. My mind raced with possibilities. Were they part of some secret club or something more sinister? As much as I tried not to eavesdrop, the bizarre snippets of conversation were hard to ignore. I started piecing together what I could, but the narrative was disjointed and didn't make much sense. It was like listening to an ongoing episode of a mystery series with missing parts. One Friday night, things took a disturbing turn. I heard the 40-year-old male discussing a location and time for something that sounded like a covert operation. Phrases like "no witnesses" and "clean getaway" were thrown around. My heart raced as I realized this could be more than just harmless talk. Was I overhearing a criminal plot? The 35-year-old woman mentioned needing to ensure everything was set for the big night. It sounded like they were planning something illegal, and I was inadvertently privy to it. The idea of calling the authorities crossed my mind, but what would I even report? Without concrete details, it felt like a wild accusation. Torn between action and caution, I decided to gather more information to confirm my suspicions before jumping to conclusions. In a bid to gather more intel, I subtly engaged the 40-year-old male neighbor in casual conversation when we crossed paths in the hallway. I hinted at hearing some of their interesting projects, fishing for clues without raising suspicion. To my shock, his reaction was a knowing smile and a cryptic remark about how things aren't always what they seem. It was chilling and confirmed that something offbeat was indeed happening. The next day, I noticed moving trucks outside their apartment. They disappeared without a trace, leaving behind an air of mystery and unanswered questions. Reflecting on the bizarre experience, I'm relieved they're gone, but still baffled by the whole ordeal. It was a real-life mystery that left me more cautious about my curiosity. If there's one lesson I learned, it's to be careful what you overhear. Sometimes, ignorance is bliss, and peace of mind is priceless.